guys, so what you're going to need to recreate this easy non-prosthetic Halloween zombie is to start off with contacts if you have any. And the first thing we're going to need to do is have your eyebrows covered up because something tells me a zombie might look a little funny with eyebrows. So to cover up your eyebrows, you'll need a spoolie, a clean mascara wand, or just something you can run through your eyebrows to flatten them. Once you think they're flat enough, grab a glue stick, then run it through your eyebrows going upwards until you think that's flat enough. Then once it's dried, use the end of a spatula or just use tweezers to scoop up a little glob of the glue and drag it back through your eyebrows. This will make it a lot flatter and a lot easier to work with. You know you've done enough of this when you're nearly got your whole eyebrow blue. You're going to have to do a couple of layers of this, so let it dry, do some more, then let it dry, and so and so. Then again, after this, run your glue stick back over the top of this. You'll know when it dries because the blue will dry clear. That's why I like using blue glue. Once again, after it's dried, use cream concealer or use a concealer stick like I did and colour over the top of your eyebrows. This alone won't cancel out the colour from underneath, so I had to do a couple of layers of the concealer stick, my liquid concealer, and then my foundation powder. So I think I did 3 of this all together. So basically I did 3 of concealer stick, liquid concealer, and my foundation, and then I let it dry and I did it again. It doesn't matter so much with this one if you can still see some of the eyebrows because we will be going over it all again with foundation after to make us paler. A crucial step to this is laughing about how you look without eyebrows. The next thing you'll want to do is use a very, very pale foundation or just mix white face paint with your foundation to make yourself as pale as a ghost. Unfortunately for me, I can't get any paler, so this is in fact just my natural foundation colour I'm using, and then I'll set it with translucent powder. So the next thing you'll need to do is use the vital material for this look, PVA glue. With the glue, cover your chin and around your mouth, but not in your mouth obviously. Then place a thin layer of tissue over that and continue to put glue on top of that. Now the whole process does take a while, but it's worth it. In the end, I think I did 6 or 7 layers of glue and tissue paper, and it's important to put the glue and tissue paper further up than you think you'll need it to cover because it's just handier. So basically the tissue over the painted glue, then wait for it to dry a little bit, which will make it so much easier to peel off later. Then once it's dried, do the next layer in different areas, just as I'm doing here. So I kind of went going upwards onto my cheek and I started off on my chin. PVA glue is such an easy to find alternative to liquid latex, and I've been using it since I started makeup. In fact, the fact that all I needed to become a zombie was fake blood, tissue, and glue was what made me to start doing it in the first place. So don't sit there and think you can't do this because you don't have the materials. Of course, if you do have liquid latex, use that, but just for beginners like I was last Halloween, this is so much easier to find and so much easier to work with, and it's easy for beginners, and that's why I like it so much. Now obviously check the bottle to see if there's anything that could be harmful to you, especially if you're allergic to lots of things. If you're worried that this could hurt, sting, or the glue is going to give you a reaction, don't use it. I just know that it works with me fine, so I'm fine with it. The only thing that hurts is peeling it off, but unfortunately, unless you're smart and you have makeup remover, most prosthetics or latex glue things hurt to peel off. What I like also about using glue is you don't absolutely ruin all your brushes from it like latex. You can easily rinse your brushes off with glue and repurpose them for different things. Also, a warning before you do this, you won't be able to speak as well. You can open your mouth perfectly fine. You can breathe perfectly fine. You just probably won't be able to talk as well as you used to. You might sound a bit weird. And you probably won't be able to open your mouth really wide. You won't be able to scream on Halloween. Once you've done the layers and you think it's dry enough, which took me almost 20 minutes, peel just the part of your lips off and you'll be able to see or feel that the rest isn't dry, or it is. Mine wasn't, so I left it again for a little while. Then when it was dry, I started to peel the tissue downwards in the position I wanted. I wanted it to look like my skin from my chin had been ripped off my face, but was still hanging there. I wish there was a less gory way to say that, but there isn't. So just play around with it however you want and experiment with the rips, and it'll be a bit gooey and it'll be still a bit wet, so you'll be able to mold it the way you want. Do exactly how you want your zombie to look. Obviously, if you want to recreate exactly what I'm doing, just copy what I do. The glue is probably still going to be fairly wet when you do it. Mine is, as you can see, so it'll just make it easier to mold, as I said before. Then once you got it in the right position, I blow dried it, and make sure you don't have it really hot on your face like I did when I first did it. That was a surprise to me. And it'll be dry when the glue is shiny, so you'll be able to tell when it's dry when it's shiny. Then once it's all dry, cover your face in the same shade as you did your foundation before. If you mixed it with white in the foundation, do it like that, but it'll help blend it into the skin, and then set it with the powder. And I did this for 2 layers, so I did the foundation, powder, foundation, powder. There's a lot of layers in this, but it's just to make it blend all in. Once you're finished blending it in, set it with some powder. Then use some red paint, or if you don't have red paint, use red lipstick to fill in the space on your chin. But don't go up to your lips. We don't want it to mix with the white paint. Then with eyeliner or with a black paint, draw out lines for the teeth. If you don't think you can do it, get a photo up of bottom teeth and copy them. Also go around the edges of the tissue paper with the black to add some dimensions so it looks like it's a bit more 3D than it is. Then with white paint, fill in the teeth places that you have. The white paint will be extremely easy to find during Halloween season. If you can't find it, white eyeliner can do the trick. For mine, I used oil-based white paint, so I hate it because it mixes with everything and it hardly ever dries because it's oil. Especially, I suggest if you're planning to eat, don't use oil paints because they're super easy to smudge. With your black paint or eyeliner, just perfect those teeth a little bit or ruin them depending on how bad your zombie's dental hygiene was. Mine was pretty good. Then use coagulated fake blood of some sort. You can always use Halloween fake blood and add teaspoons of flour or some chunks of like food or something. Anything that'll make it just a bit thicker and chunkier.
Killer. Stupid freak dad.
Only now I realise how annoying I sounded. But anyway, that was probably the funniest thing that's ever happened in this video. I used the watered down fake blood or just red paint to add a bit of splatter effect around the mouth and just around the face. Now for the rest of the face, with any dark or grey shadows, go around the eye sockets and darken up the sockets. For that dead look everyone wants this spring, or whatever season you're in. I started in the corner and then went onto the cheek and went up around into my crease to hollow that out. I'm really bad at explaining, so if you need more help, you can look at a picture of a skeleton and see where the eye sockets are to give you an idea. As well as that, with a contour kit or just dark shadows, go in along your cheeks to make them look sunken in and in your temples. Then I decided there wasn't enough goriness on this zombie, so I wanted to give him a bullet hole. So I rolled up a piece of tissue paper into kind of like a circle and then put some glue on my head where I wanted it, stuck it on, then ripped a thinner layer of tissue paper and put that on top of that where I had already just put the glue. And then that's the first layer. I think I did 2 of those just to keep it in place, and that will keep it on your head pretty much the whole night. You can always stop the look before this, or you can just do a bullet hole by itself without the zombie look. So do whatever you want, it's your zombie. Now this is a very extremely basic bullet hole, so if you'd like to see a more complex one, a better one, give this video a thumbs up. Also, where I had the glue on my brush, I painted around a couple random spots just with 1 layer so I could rip up and make some more wounds later. Then with the foundation colour, I went around on the bullet hole and just used my powder and powdered all of them so they're not sticky anymore. Then I went in with dark shadows again onto just the bullet hole and went from the centre outwards, just added a bit more bruise and then added black in the centre, and with the red paint I went in and added some of that, smudged it out with my finger, and then I went back in with the coagulated blood and added that in the centre and let it drip down onto my nose, and you can always do this with just fake blood. And then that's where I went ham with the blood, and I let it drip down my throat. If you don't want yours to be really, really like bloody, then don't do this, but I'm all about that blood, so I dragged it across my throat. I just dribbled it down, just had heaps of it, and this is where I really like to go crazy with the blood. It's really fun. I reckon a zombie's not a zombie without blood. Then hollow out your collarbones on the top and on the bottom, and then I almost forgot, but with tweezers, pull out like in the center of those places that we did the glue, pull out the centers of them, fill them the same way that we did with the bullet hole, with the bruising and then the blood. Unfortunately or fortunately, you can take your hair out just like mine and already have it looking like a zombie. If you're like me, all you have to do is take it out of a ponytail and then you reach your desired zombie look. I hope you really enjoyed this and are able to achieve this for Halloween. Make sure if you recreate this, you send me a photo via Instagram and I'll answer back because I'd love to see what you guys are doing. But thank you so much for watching, and subscribe if you want to see more zombies, more goriness, more anything. Comment more ideas below for me and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much and have a good Halloween. Bye!